The controversial Senate vote archiving the articles of impeachment against Vice President Sara Duterte has exposed a rift, perhaps even a seismic fault, in the way senators think of the Senate. Is the Senate the institution with its traditions and prerogatives, or is it the majority with its powers and its votes? Hi, I'm John Nery, and you are in the Public Square. In the last few weeks, I've heard or read at least 3 professors of law at the UP College of Law describe the newly re-elected Senator Tito Sotto as an institutionalist, someone who defends the dignity of the Senate as an institution. He voted against the archiving of the articles of impeachment and remains engaged in an interesting exchange of words with the Senate President Chiz Escudero. We join the Senate Minority Leader, Tito Sotto, in his office. Thank you for hosting us, Sen, and for joining us in the Public Square.
It's my pleasure, John. In the Public Square has been there for some time. I remember I was a guest before.
You were our very first guest back in 2022. Thank you, Sen.
Thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you.
Sen, dun sa boto ng Senado, ano ang isinuko ng Senado when it voted to archive the articles of impeachment?
It depends on how you look at it. If the glass is half empty or if it's half full. Because the original proposal was to dismiss. And I was completely against it. I don't think we should dismiss something that is not only erroneous, but also, well, I mean, because, no, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. I don't think we should dismiss the articles of impeachment just because of a Supreme Court judicial notice, if I may call it that, no? Na they call the Supreme Court decision, saying that the articles of impeachment are unconstitutional.
Okay.
And in the absence of any motion for reconsideration, I thought that we should take a deeper look into the issue. To me, the personalities involved are of no moment. It is the way it was handled. It is the way the Constitution is being amended based on the Supreme Court decision that I saw. So, when the proposal in the Senate during a caucus was to entertain a motion to dismiss, I immediately said that we should not do it on a Monday. We should do it on a Wednesday. They agreed. I said, give us more time. There will be an MR, some of us to study. It's 97 pages. And they agreed. So we decided to hold it on the 6th of August. Now, in the 6th of, before that, the House of Representatives filed a motion for reconsideration. So, all the more, we should not dismiss. So I objected to the motion to dismiss and got a motion from one of my sleeves, an ace up my sleeve, which has a higher precedence than a motion to dismiss, and that is the motion to lay on the table. It has the 5th hierarchy in motions in any parliament, and in the rules of the Senate particularly. So you could say that because they agreed to archive instead of dismiss, the glass is half full.
Okay.
A small victory, as far as I'm concerned.
Has your mind changed immediately after the archiving? You said it's practically dead. Now it might be suspended only?
Looking at shall we say, hindi naman jurisprudence, but looking at the records of the Senate, there have been instances that an archived bill or measure is brought back to life.
Okay.
That I found out. I found out that matter later on.
Okay.
So I said, at least pwede pang buhayin to kung sabihin ng Supreme Court that they are reversing. They are reversing their decision, and if they do that, then we can continue to tackle the articles of impeachment.
How many votes would be needed to revive an archived case? Do you agree that it has to be a majority? Or
Yes.
I think it was Senator Sherwin Gatchalian who said maybe you only need 5.
I am not sure about that particular rule, but the safer number would be a majority of those present.
Okay.
So if there are 15 members in the Senate during that particular day,
You need 8.
8 to do it. You do not need a 13. You need a 13 if all 24 are there.
Okay. Sen, let me backtrack a bit. No, I think you raised this also during that session on August 6. Ano ba yung in-archive? Kasi in June, ni-remand yung articles of impeachment. Now, in a way, parang legal fiction yun. Ano? Hindi naman talagang, ewan ko kung physically binalik yung papeles. Ano ba yung in-archive? Kung ang articles of impeachment bumalik sa House of Representatives.
Well, practically, what we archived was as far as those pushing for the archiving, is the articles of impeachment.
Okay.
Okay. That also is, what shall we call it, a misnomer.
Okay.
Because we were in the Senate. We were there as a Senate body,
not
not
an
as an
impeachment
impeachment
court.
court. So we could not actually really dismiss. So archiving the articles of impeachment as the Senate opens the door for us to be able to retrieve it. That's how I look at it.
So it was all right that you did not convene as an impeachment court? Parang ganun ba yun?
During the time?
Yeah, kasi it was the impeachment court that sent the articles of impeachment back. So
Actually,
ngayon,
John, that will be debatable. Because, as I said in my vote, what are we archiving?
Yes.
Sabi ng Supreme Court, we do not have jurisdiction. According to their decision.
That's right.
You have no jurisdiction. So what are we archiving? That was my point during that particular vote.
Yeah, so medyo mahirap nga intindihin kung ano ba talaga yung nangyari. It's also possible that you could be open to a lawsuit, no? Parang why did the Senate vote on this when it was the impeachment court that remanded? Pero ang pinaka nababahala po ako, Sen. Kumbaga, whatever the decision was, you just needed the majority of votes, no? So, for instance, if the right decision was we should convene first as an impeachment court and then archive the articles of impeachment, even if that was the right decision, because a majority of senators voted already,
so. Yeah.
parang wala na. In other words, dinaan sa sheer numbers, no?
Correct.
Parang ganon. Doon ako nababahala. What about the prerogatives of the Senate? Parang sinunod lang kaagad yung sinabi ng Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court. Yes. First, I agree with what you said. We could be open to a lawsuit. The Senate. What did you archive? You do not have jurisdiction over the articles of impeachment. You were not the impeachment court. That's another thing.
Yeah.
In both instances, the Senate would be put into a very different light. And that is the reason why I was voting against it. And that's the reason that I was trying to convince them, trying my best to convince them that this is not the proper thing to do. As a matter of fact, what I wanted to instill into the minds of my colleagues is that we could not do anything.
Okay.
We could not move and let it go. So hopefully, and then wait for the motion for reconsideration. But after the motion for reconsideration, the points that you just mentioned might come to light. there might be people who will question that particular.
Which role you were performing, no?
Were
As
you an
Senate or as
impeachment court?
impeachment court?
Well, definitely we were not an impeachment court because only 12 of them
That's right.
were sworn. You know, the the other 12 were newbies, so to speak, in the 20th Congress, and they are not members of the impeachment court.
Hindi ba lumabas na as an issue yung parang overstepping into the jurisdiction of the Senate? No? You have the sole power to try impeachment cases. Parang nag-overstep yung Supreme Court. That would be one way of understanding the Duterte versus House of Representatives ruling. Di ba naging issue yan sa mga senators?
I don't remember anybody bringing it up. And as far as I'm concerned, I did not bring up that particular issue because I didn't want to bring the personalities into the debate.
Okay.
I wanted to stress the point that I am for the preservation of the Constitution and the rules of the Senate and the parliamentary rules and procedures should be followed. I don't care who was being impeached in the articles of impeachment. That was my point.
Sen, when you were reelected, but before you took your oath, you also said something already, no, about the impeachment court which had met in June. Meron kang binanggit na bakit yung mga judges, the senator judges, parang sila yung abogado nung complainant or yung respondent, yung respondent,
the
defendant. You even quoted what you learned from Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago. No? Handa ba yung Senado then or even now to assume its role as an impeachment court? O wala talagang appetite to try this impeachment case?
Very difficult to speak for them. No? But for me, as far as I'm concerned, they should have moved February 5.
Okay,
They should have
when it
acted.
received, yeah.
When the Senate President and the Senate Secretariat received the articles of impeachment from the House, automatically the proper action to do was to report it to the floor because they were in session.
Yeah.
They were in session that day. They adjourned 6:55 p.m.
Okay.
They received it at 4:15 p.m. Plenty of time. All you need is 15 seconds to say, we are in receipt of the articles of impeachment from the House of Representatives, hereby refer to the Committee on Rules. So during the break, during the campaign period, they could have acted on it. They could have discussed it. The Committee on Rules could have decided that we should convene or not convene. We'll wait for the election, whatever. At least dapat ganon eh. Well, again, when they resumed in June 2, the 2nd of June, June 3, I think they talked about it. And then June 9, the Senate President took his oath as a presiding officer. And then the rest in June 10. And then, while they were an impeachment court already, a member moves to dismiss. It's never done. You know, no motion. The judges in the impeachment court, as I've learned through the years, especially during the tutelage of Miriam Defensor Santiago, you cannot file a motion on yourself. You allow the defense to file that particular motion. So that point pa lang, doon pa lang, mali na kaagad eh. So, going back to one of your questions, yes, I think they don't have the appetite to take up the articles of impeachment. You're right.
Sen, nabanggit mo earlier, before we started our interview, ang daming kailangan gawin sa Senado, no? There are problems with the budget and so on. Now, you have these investigations into the flood control projects and so on. Anong masasabi mo sa mga tao na, okay, pagdating sa impeachment issue, move on?
I have a different point of view. Okay. It's not the impeachment per se at this point. My problem is if the Supreme Court decision stands, they practically amended the Constitution.
Yeah.
especially in the Article 11, as far as impeachment is concerned. They practically amended it and made it very difficult.
Yeah.
You know, look at the requirements. The new requirements,
They added
it's impossible.
7 new requirements. Yeah.
It's impossible. The new requirements are impossible. So, what do we have here? So, siguro, I would wait. At this point, I will wait for the Supreme Court to decide on the motion for reconsideration, hopefully realizing that there were errors, or at the very least, remove the amendments to the Constitution.
Okay.
Because, we understand the Supreme Court, once they decide on a certain or a particular law, when they interpret the law, it becomes law of the land. Right. But the Constitution is different. If the Supreme Court can amend the Constitution, iba na takbo ng Constitution natin. And that's the reason that I came up with the idea, teka muna, if that happens, we need to amend the Constitution.
You know, this is actually a very powerful intervention kasi I don't think you've ever, active in charter change before.
I was always against.
Yeah, now you're saying, sandali lang.
Oo. Pagka ganyan.
Ngayon, si Senate President Chiz Escudero says, ginagawa mo lang yung gusto mangyari ni Speaker Martin Romualdez and so on. What do you say to that?
Well, that's completely false. No, I have nothing to do with my thinking, and my belief has nothing to do with the House of Representatives. I strongly believe that a constituent assembly or a constitutional convention can only amend the Constitution, not the Supreme Court, or not the Senate alone, or not even the House of Representatives. So, kung babaguhin natin, iayos na natin. Iayos na natin. Like for example, thinking out loud, baba na natin yung age for running for president.
Okay.
Gawin natin 35. Bakit 40? Aguinaldo was 30 years old when he became president. Diba? Yung mga senators, gawin natin 30. Give the chance to the youth. The youth now are ibang klase. The Gen Zs, the millennials, iba, ibang thinking. Diba? Magagaling eh. So, why not give them a chance pagka ganun? Imbes na gagalawin din lang naman natin konstitusyon, babaguhin nyo. Pag-isipan natin mabuti yun. No, I'm not saying that we should do it now. But I'm saying we should consider things like that pagka nagkataon. Because
what would your next step be? So, you've started this debate. So now people are thinking, what? Charter change? O, sandali lang. Are you going to file a bill? Do you have a new chairman of the Senate Committee on Constitutional Amendments?
Hindi pa, hindi. No, I'm not. I have not accepted any committee.
No, I meant Senator Pangilinan.
Oh, yeah. Kiko, yeah.
So will you be, will you be talking to him, or ano bang next step nito? Or you're still just thinking this through?
Correct. I'm just thinking it through at this point. Waiting for the MR.
Okay.
Waiting for the result, and trying to feel the pulse of the people also. It's a very, very tough times. We are in very difficult times in our country. All of a sudden, talagang the division that we are encountering in the past elections. Ngayon talagang super.
Yeah. We are very polarized, yes.
Very polarized, correct. So I'm thinking it through. I've never pushed for cha-cha.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, what we need is not cha-cha, we need kacha. C-H-A din.
Okay.
Character change.
Kacha.
Yun ang kailangan natin.
Yeah, so as of today, our Constitution is the longest that we've had that hasn't had any amendments, no? So, and of course, under that constitution, you were elected to the Senate 5 times. You've beaten the record of, your own previous record with Senator Franklin Drilon and the old man, Senator Lorenzo Tañada, 4 terms. Now you're on your 5th term. So arguably, you can point to the Senate and say, you can succeed within that framework, no? Pero now, you're asking people to think. Did you talk to your minority members about this? Or have you heard from them after you raised this?
No, we have not discussed it. We've not discussed it yet. It was something, as far as I'm concerned, you can call it a knee-jerk reaction to what is transpiring, what's happening.
I would be very interested to know, for instance, how your katandem, Senator Ping, would think about this. Again, arguably, he's also very successful in this constitutional framework, but baka nga there is a different way. You're the first I've heard who suggested lowering the age of qualification. No?
It's the same. It's the same as in the United States. The United States senators can be elected at the age of 30, minimum 30, and then also as president, 35.
Sen, I'll just backtrack a bit. No, when you were preparing for the August 6th session, you conferred with the minority. Did you talk about it? Did you have a strategy? Or did you pull that ace out of your sleeve by yourself?
No. I didn't tell them about it. We didn't discuss it. We had a WhatsApp group.
Okay.
So except for that, we did not discuss what would happen. Except that I said I will definitely object to the motion to dismiss, and I will interpolate. What they were expecting was a motion to dismiss, and we will vote. That was what they were expecting.
Yeah.
So I thought that, no, we should not. We should open it for interpellation first. Try to convince some of them that the motion to dismiss is not proper. And then I thought of putting a stymie to the motion to dismiss.
Did you hear from Senator Loren and Senator Miggs before the hearing or during the voting, when they ended up voting to archive?
Oh, yes. Loren and Miggs approached me separately and were telling me that they will be voting in favor of the archiving. Political.
Yeah. How about, were you surprised when Senator Kiko and Senator Bam joined you? And voted against the archiving?
After the interpellations, no.
I see.
I expected them to vote with me.
Just between us, was there any senator you thought would vote against the archiving but ended up voting for it?
Come to think of it, yes. I thought Erwin Tulfo.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought. The rest I thought, but I was wrong.
That's interesting. Sen, back to your, just the thinking through of the charter change idea. Hindi ko alam kung coincidence, but yesterday, there was a change in the committee chairmanship. So, hindi na si Senator Robin Padilla, now Senator Kiko Pangilinan. Was that in response to what you said, or it's completely isolated, or can you help us read the dynamics in the Senate?
I don't know as far as the majority is concerned. It's the decision of the majority. Usually the Senate President and the majority leader, they discuss it with themselves. And perhaps they thought Francis would be, Senator Pangilinan would be the best chairman. I don't think it has anything to do with what I said.
Okay. But people, reading what happened, the news from outside would try to put one and one together and say, "Oh, wait a minute, that's." So it actually makes your idea a little closer to
possibility.
Possibility, yeah.
Oh, as a matter of fact,
because he's a lawyer.
I read that I read that yesterday, Congressman Puno
Yes, yeah.
also was calling for a con-con.
Yeah.
Actually, I prefer a con-con.
Yeah.
I would prefer a con-con.
That's right. I mean, if we already have problems interpreting the constitutional rules on impeachment, just imagine, interpreting the constitutional rules on voting.
Oh.
Is it separate voting for the Senate and in a consa, di ba?
No, pero as far as that's concerned, I am very firm about
Yeah, you should have separate
voting separately. Yes,
Yeah,
in the Constitution, around 4 or 5 times, voting separately is mentioned.
Yeah.
It is only once in the Constitution that is voting jointly is mentioned, and that is in the issue of martial law.
Martial law, that's right.
So it's really voting separately. Pero Constituent Assembly, the people might not be too keen about it. Medyo mas magastos, pero a con-con would be better. If we really do decide, no, if people will agree that we should amend the Constitution, not change, amend the Constitution.
Let me try to encourage you in thinking this through. No, one of the main objections from before was that this might extend the term of the president, right? 6 years. That's our reaction to what happened before. Is the limit. If this pushes through, you're looking at like it will have to be ratified. Let's say at the same time as the presidential election in 2028. So there's no possibility that the incumbent president
will be extended.
Parang ganon.
Siguro naman, yes, because it will not be acceptable to majority of our people.
Yun kasi yung
yung kagad yun. Even the congressmen and the senators, baka ang isipin nila, papayag tayo dun sa extend sila.
Would you...
Or aalisin ang term limits. Medyo, medyo... I'm not too keen about it.
About removing?
Removing the term limits, I'm not too keen about it.
Okay, that's good. And that's coming from you. You've been in the Senate. This is your 5th time. How about imposing term limits on Supreme Court justices? In other countries, they have like 10 years or sa atin, 70,
Age. Kaya pag na-appoint sa Supreme Court at the age of
45.
45.
Di ang haba ng
Forever
25 years.
So
that might be something to
something to consider, yes, why not? Because senators are elected, congressmen are elected, the president is elected, the Supreme Court justices are unelected.
Okay, so that's part of the structure of our Constitution, but maybe that's something. Sen, when you put the minority together, we couldn't help, of course, but notice that you had opposition Senator Risa Ontiveros, who seems to be a very enthusiastic member of the minority. What is your working relationship with her? Sometimes she has some progressive ideas that, or other ideas that you may disagree with. How do you work with her? Mukhang so far, you're all aligned, no?
Yes, so far so good. There's the only time that I had a debate and did not agree with Senator Risa was the sponsorship of the SOGI bill.
Okay.
There were portions there that will not pass my my religious beliefs.
Okay.
So, yun lang. Well, the rest okay naman. And then now that we're in the minority, she's very good. She's calm. She knows what she's doing.
Itong issue nga sa SOGI bill, I'm afraid that it might not even reach the floor because the majority leader is once again Senator Joel Villanueva, who has also very strong positions on this. Baka hindi nga yata ilabas sa Committee on Rules.
Well, if we could limit into an anti-discrimination bill, it stands a chance. Ano lang yan, amendahan lang yung masyadong medyo hindi katanggap-tanggap. Like for example, issues on religious beliefs, issues on education, yung mga ganon. Kung basta't anti-discrimination lang, papasa yun.
Sen, in 2016, I think if I read history correctly, you could have been Senate President right away instead of Senator Coco Pimentel. Looking at the dynamics, I know that Senator Alan Peter Cayetano also threw his hat in the ring and so on. But at the time we were calling it the macho block. It was like a solid 7 or 8. And so there was a chance. But you waited, I think, 2.5 years.
Oh, 1.5 years.
1.5 years, no? Before you mounted, the takeover of the Senate. Do you get the same? Are we talking about the same set of conditions now in the 20th Congress, or it's completely different?
More or less, more or less. I leave it to my colleagues. During that time, in 2016, we were thinking of either supporting Senator Alan Cayetano or when he met with us and were mentioning things about some committees and this and that, it was not acceptable to most of us. So we talked with Senator Coco Pimentel, who was a party mate of the president. They were both together in the past elections, no? But we thought that Coco would make a good Senate president during that time. He has the same history as his father. Senator Nene Pimentel. We were together. Senator Nene Pimentel never sought the Senate presidency. We gave it to him. We were 11. We needed 2 more to unseat the group of GMA, headed by Senator Drilon, if I recall it right. And then we needed 2 more votes. Nene and Serge Osmeña were together. So we talked to Nene and offered him the Senate presidency, which he accepted. The rest is history. Ganon din kay Coco eh. Coco was alone in 2016.
Okay.
But we could garner the votes. But we wanted somebody who would start off the 17th Congress with a good relationship with Malacanang.
Yes.
And, so that we can move the country forward. That was the intention. That's the reason.
The minority leader, I think, was Chiz. Was he? Was it?
No. In 2016.
In 2016 against Coco.
I think it was Alan Cayetano.
Was it Alan Cayetano?
I think so.
No, but
and then later on, when I took over, Frank Drilon was minority leader.
That's right. That's right. There was a tradition before, which I don't think was followed in the 20th Congress, where the candidate of the majority for Senate President votes for the other candidate. Tapos the candidate of the minority would vote for the other candidate.
We did it.
Did you? So you voted for
Senator Escudero voted for me.
I see. Okay.
And I voted for him.
Okay. So see, this is one of those traditions which actually helps with unity and working together in the Senate, right? So that one I missed. So I'm glad to hear Megan.
But I'm sorry, but cutting you off on that point. During the time of Nene had to vote for himself.
Because he lacked the
13
votes.
na kami, eksakto eh. If we were 14, pwede.
I see. Yeah.
So.
That makes sense.
Oh yeah, we were handcuffed to do it.
There is a very famous bill named after your grandfather, Sotto Bill, which we journalists are proud of. Now we enjoy the protections that gives us better protections than, for instance, in the United States. If there is one law that would be known as the Sotto III bill, what would that be, or what is it?
Well, Senator Lacson and some others called the amendment to the Sotto law as the Sotto III law. I amended it already.
Okay.
We included the broadcast.
The broadcast, yeah.
Broadcast, radio, TV, and online.
Okay.
Accredited online practitioners.
But
Because during that time, talagang print, kayo lang eh. Dati, kayo lang ang protected print. So, they call it Sotto III law. But if there is one, wow. Perhaps I would say 2 or 3, like ni Doktor para sa Bayan. We need more doctors. My mother was a doctor. When she graduated from the UP Medicine Class 35, instead of putting up a clinic in Metro Manila like her classmates, she went to Nueva Ecija to volunteer for the Periculture Center for years.
Okay.
She worked there for years. So, nung pandemic, during the pandemic, nakita ko napakadaming pagkukulang natin sa mga doktor nationwide. So I thought of making the medical scholarship free. Talagang free medical scholarship for any Filipino who will qualify. Siguro yan ang isa sa mga... Right now, there are a number of schools or universities that have graduated already, new doctors. Perhaps that would be one. And then the other would be the Dangerous Drugs Act, Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002.
Sen, I just remembered you were talking about the doctor's bill. Under your Senate presidency, the Senate issued a very strong statement against then Health Secretary Francisco Duque and you know, calling him out on his performance during the pandemic. Was that because of your experience? I mean, your family history. Your mother was a doctor. You were particularly sensitive to how the Department of Health was performing. Yes,
it was. I think that, and also not only that, but not only because of the family background, but I knew then, based on surveys, that the people's the issue of the people, number one would be health. Kasi paano sila magtatrabaho kung may sakit at kung kulang sa gamot, kulang sa mga ganun eh. So siguro, probably during that time it was a combination. A combination of concern and then what transpired in the pandemic. That was really bad.
That's terrible.
Terrible, horrible, because of the money that was spent.
Yeah.
And misspent, I should say.
Sen, I want to go back to the main theme of this interview, which is defining the role of the Senate. It seems to me that the ones who voted to against the archiving of the articles of impeachment were very conscious of the role the Senate should play. You know, and also its collegial role with the relationship with the House of Representatives. Essentially, you were saying, you know, our co-equal branch of government has filed a motion for recon. Maghintay naman tayo.
Correct.
Di ba? Parang binabastos naman natin yung ano. No? So, for me, very, very strong yung ganong klaseng idea of the institution. Protect the institution. As you said, personalities are of no moment. No? But then, I would also think that there were many, including, for instance, in my view, the 7 Duterte senators, who really voted to archive it because they wanted it out of the way. No? So yun yung idea ko na, on the one hand, there are some of you who want to protect the Senate as an institution, and then there are others who say, well, okay, but we have the votes. No? So parang kung masisira man lang yung imahe natin or yung down the road, no, even our powers will be reduced. Parang that's for the future to take care of.
Yes, but to me, that it's unacceptable. After 24 years, you know, the Senate has had a very special place in my heart. So I think the reputation and the integrity of the Senate should be preserved. That's number one. You are the impeachment court. You are a level higher than the House of Representatives and the House of the Senate when you are an impeachment court. And you're just going to throw it away.
Sen, thank you. I have a few more questions, but that's the time that we have. This has been very instructive. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's my honor and pleasure also to be, always to be interviewed by you. The John Nery that I know.
Thank you. Sen. And that's it for us. The next step for engaged citizens, as always, is take a more active part in the democratic project. Please download the Rappler Communities app and join the chat room of your choice. And if you haven't yet, join Rappler Plus. Thank you. This is John Nery. See you in the public square.